The E500 has been giving me some issues since I got it as far as running properly. The engine was kind of hesitant, misfiring, wasn't running on all cylinders at all time. So right away I knew to check the upper wiring harness, and it is still original. So I went ahead and ordered one from Mercedes. They still had some left. If you are trying to get one for the 92, I don't think they have them anymore, but luckily for the 94 they still have it. So I picked that up. It just came in, so I'm going to be tackling that today, and hopefully I'll solve all my issues with, the ASR flashing and the misfires and stuff. And then I'll be able to do the distributor cap rotor. And until then, I'm going to go ahead and tackle the wiring harness. So let's get started. Also, the car is going to be getting a complete makeover. I'm going to be getting the spots that are faded, painted, and essentially the whole car is probably going to be painted. You can see sun fading here and the clear bra issue. So I'm going to address that. I'll get a new windshield. I have all these spots. There's about every panel needs something touched up, so I'm going to have the car painted and all that stuff addressed. So this car is going to have a complete makeover. It's going to look fantastic. I will check back in with you guys when it is ready, and we'll go over everything, and I'll show you how that came out. I'll also disassemble some of the parts to make it easier on my guy that's going to be painting it, and so I'll show you guys that process. And yeah, so let's get to work. First thing we're going to do is take off our air ducts. We will take off our cover, pop that off, put that on the side, and I'll take off this cover. And this is the harness here. It runs to, and you could hear it crunching, but these are exposed, causing shorts, etc. And it's actually crumbling under my fingers right now. So I'll unplug all this stuff. Let me show you guys the part number, and in case anybody wants to order it, 12444020026, and it is everything you need. Should be pretty straightforward. Typically the lower harnesses are not that aren't an issue, so you don't have to really worry about that. This runs to the computer. These are all to the injectors. This is to the ASR, ground, throttle body, or MAF sensor. Front of them. One of them is to the throttle body, and a couple other sensors, but yeah, not that crazy of a job. Should take us maybe an hour. We'll see. Hopefully it goes quicker, but you never know. Some of the spots might be tight to get stuff out of, so we'll take a further look at that. We'll get this air box out of the way. So first things first, I'll undo this plug. But before we start, let's go ahead and unplug the battery, and then we could start getting everything else off. But we'll have to take these off. This goes here, and then it runs through the firewall and plugs in right here at the top. So should be pretty easy. That hurt. clip that holds in all of these, and most likely it's going to break. And then final situation is unhook this, and then you just got to pull your harness through. Probably take this off. I don't think we can. It's a bit of a pain in the ass to get this stale wiring through. Alright, there's one more pin connector down there. Get this off. After you disconnect this final wire, you can now and we are done. Ta-da! And all this plastic and shit is falling apart. So let's go ahead and get our vacuum, clean everything we need to clean, and get back to it. Let's go in with the new stuff. Start kind of feeding stuff in individually, and then we'll work our way around other stuff. Alright, we got our ground tightened up. We got our ET plugged in. We got to clean up these connections, plug them in. We got to wire this underneath, plug all those in, put our bracket down, put our pipe back in, and double check all the connections here. Connect those guys, and yeah, should be it. Of course, I ran these unnecessarily. I need those here, so I'll feed these back. These 1, 2, 3 go there. Alright, so let's get these bolts fastened down, all these guys. I just mounted this thing. I'll tighten up the bolts here. And here. Drop that. Go ahead and tighten this guy. This guy's tightened already. Our ground is tight. All we have left is to put the surround in here. I'll fasten this back here, and then we'll do the other side. We'll start on the other side first, actually, because we'll do this last. Let's go ahead and plug these guys in here. Alright, so we are finished with all of the wiring. Now we have to double check everything's plugged in, and I fed everything through the firewall. I've already connected the connector by the ECU, all the fuel injector plugs, the front coolant temp sensor plugs. Everything looks to be plugged in, so
Now we can go ahead and proceed with the air box, and then we'll reconnect the battery, start the car for the first time, and hopefully that will solve our issue. So back with the air box we go, and once that is on, we'll go ahead and put the ducts on, and I'll go ahead and fire the car up for you guys. Okay, let's go ahead and safely put our battery back on. I'll reconnect the terminals, tighten them down, and I'll go ahead and crank the engine and see if this puppy will turn over. Fingers crossed. It's a lot of work we put into it. I'm pretty confident that it's going to start, but you never know. Could be some kind of faulty OEM part or something else that's an underlying issue. That's just the nature of the beast with these older cars, but I think this one.
Fire this thing up. Firing it up. We're good. We're in business, guys. Got to top the coolant off, but she works. There we go, guys. The updated wiring harness is finished. It should solve all of our issues. And yeah, now this thing will be off the paint. I'm just going to take some pieces off and we'll get it off the paint. That wraps it up for today's video. Make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll catch you on the next one.